My name is Claire Louder. I am your MC for today. I also chair the Local Development Council, which allocates the funds that Maryland Live Casino generates for Anne Arundel County. It's a pretty exciting job. We've been able to do some wonderful things in the community, and we're here to celebrate some of those today. This is the largest award of local impact grant money since the formation of the LDC. This is important for a lot of reasons, but most importantly, whatever the level of allocations this year, then once MGM opens, we will continue to get that level of money to continue to support Anne Arundel County. So we think that's a really exciting opportunity. Of course, we think that the casino is going to continue to blow records out of the sky, and we won't have to resort to that, but it's nice to know we have that as a backup. So what is the Local Development Council, or LDC as we talk about it? This, as I said, is the organization. It is designated by state law to determine how, or recommend how Anne Arundel County allocates their 4.51% of the funds generated from slots revenue here at the casino. We have a group made up of 7 residents, 4 business leaders, a representative from the casino, 2 state delegates, and our state senator. And I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge all of those who are in attendance. If I can get everybody to stand up who's on the LDC, that would, is it just the 5 of you who are here? So we have Daryl Jones, we have Donzella, we have Pam Beidel, we have Karen McJunkin, and we have Rusty Bristow in attendance. Is there anybody else here? So we meet most months, just about every month. We take August off, and we usually try and take December off. But we have to meet the budget cycles. And so the way that the LDC works is first we allocate the larger amount of funds, which are to the police and fire and education and sometimes some special grants. And then once those funds are allocated, we also have a smaller amount, $300,000, that we reserve for local nonprofits and community associations. And the goal of that money is to do specific good in the neighborhoods directly affected by the casino. The grant process for those funds operates through the county's grant office. We have a deadline. We'll release the application at the end of December, and the deadline will be the beginning of January. We used to do it earlier in the year, and then everyone was confused because they didn't get their money until August when the new budget cycle started. So we've changed that around to minimize the confusion. And I understand that all of our grant recipients for this year have already received their grant paperwork for this year, so we're really excited about that because it means you can start spending. So with that, I would like to introduce Joe Weinberg from the casino. He's been serving on the Local Development Council as the casino's representative when he's here. And Joe, all yours.
Well, thank you. Thank you and good afternoon. I'd like to start, first of all, by thanking Claire for the tremendous job she has done as the chairman of the Local Development Council. Unfortunately, Claire's going to be leaving us in a few months, and we all owe her a great gratitude for the tremendous amount of time and effort and passion that she has put into the Local Development Council. So, Claire, thank you for all your work. For us at the Cordish Companies and Maryland Live, this is really, one of our favorite days during the year, because in many respects, it's much more fun to give away money than to make it. Although we certainly concentrate on making it so we have it to give away. But it really is special for us to be able to reflect this time of year on all of the great benefits of the revenues being generated from this facility. As Claire had said, this year we will give away over $18.6 million to the county to be used in many important areas. It supports, and we'll see all of the groups that are going to be benefiting from this today, but supports dozens and dozens of community organizations, nonprofits, homeowners associations in the area. The money's gone to substantially enhance public safety in the county with fire and police, education in terms of supporting our high schools and the Anne Arundel County Community College. So really a tremendous amount of good that the monies that are coming from the casino are doing in the community. And in fact, since the opening of the casino, the LDC has given away over $85 million to the county. So again, very, very special for us to be able to reflect on this with the community once a year and see all the benefits of the grants. I don't know if you all follow this, but the gaming industry in Maryland, since its inception, has generated over $2 billion in taxes for the state of Maryland. And Maryland Live Casino represents over $1.2 billion of those taxes that have gone to the state. So over 60% of the revenues that are coming out of the gaming industry are coming from this facility. And a majority of those funds are going to support education in the state. So over $1.2 billion to date coming from Maryland Live. So quite a contribution. In fact, we're the #1 taxpayer in the entire state of Maryland and one of the largest taxpayers in the entire country. So just to keep you in, keep in mind the magnitude of what's being generated in this facility. And we are committed to continuing to be a positive economic force in the state. While we have competition that will be coming on board later this year in Prince George's County, we're committed to continuing to invest in the county and continuing to make Maryland Live the premier facility, not only in the state of Maryland, but the entire region and the country as well. We're in development on a $200 million new hotel and event center. So anyone who has driven along the outer ring road will see all the site work being done for the hotel. It's going to be a magnificent 5-star facility, over 300 rooms, new event center that'll be able to handle all the events that the county has had to go out of the county to hold in the past. From a employment standpoint, Maryland Live today has over 3,000 employees. After the new hotel opens, we'll add an additional 500 employees. So 3,500 direct employees, over $1.2 billion in direct taxes paid to the state and local community. And we hope and we're committed to keeping that going strong into the future. So appreciate you all coming today and look forward to the announcement of the grant recipients today. I'd like to take the time now to introduce our county executive, Stephen Hsu. When we talk about jobs, when we talk about economic development that's coming out of Maryland Live, this is what Steve has been committed to in his administration in terms of creating jobs, making it easier for businesses to be able to operate in the county, making county government more efficient. And so I'd like to introduce Steve and have him come up and make some comments.
Thank you. That was very nice. Thank you, Joe, and thank all of you for being here this afternoon for this wonderful event. I think we all look forward every year to being part of this ceremony. Maryland Live and the Cordish companies are such great partners for Anne Arundel County. I don't think a county executive could ask for any better business community citizens than the folks at Maryland Live and the Cordish companies. And it's thrilling to see so many deserving and worthwhile and impactful organizations receive the grant funding that they need to be even more effective here in our community. Every day, this facility, this amazing place, generates revenue and is helping make our county stronger so that we can advance our mission as a county government. Maryland Live is a major driver of tourism, of economic activity for not only Anne Arundel County, but for the state of Maryland as a whole, attracting more than, believe it or not, 10 million visitors a year, benefiting countless small businesses and job creators in our county through direct and indirect financial impact. But The overall impact of this operation goes well beyond its business conduct. It's in this philanthropic component that it has even more impact. The local grant program, more than $18 million this year, $85 million since inception. That's incredible. That's an amazing number. And think of all the good that this money has done over the years, fueling job growth and development and helping nonprofits and our partners in many other areas, advancing their missions and making our county a better place to live. These grants are improving the quality of life for people all over our county, improving public safety, transportation, education, you name it. These grants are helping out. And they are, in fact, a legacy. This program is cementing a legacy for the Cordish companies and Maryland Live that will last for generations to come. So on behalf of the citizens of Anne Arundel County, I want to thank them for their incredible commitment to Anne Arundel County and to the state of Maryland. And I also want to thank all of you, the members of the Local Development Council. I know it's a lot of work, and I want to reiterate what Joe said about Claire. We're going to miss you when you leave next year, but you have done such a fabulous job. You will leave a legacy of your own that is something to be very proud of in the west part of Anne Arundel County. You've done so much. I was going to ask for an applause for you, but you already got it. You only get one. Oh, we'll give her two. Never hurts. Lastly, it's my pleasure to introduce our councilman, Pete Smith, who works so hard every day. This is the hardest working councilman ever. Always there for his constituents, always there for my staff and for me when we need help, assistance, working through issues. And he has been a great partner in each and everything where we've had a chance to work together. And I do appreciate it very much. Councilman Pete Smith.
I just want to see just a few words, and I'm so proud to be a part of this organization or this process that allows so many lives to be changed. Just to give you a perspective, there are kids who will have food because of this casino and the efforts that it's made. The LDC members who have voted on these organizations and nonprofits who have given to these organizations to do good work. There are kids who will have haircuts that they couldn't afford beforehand. There are neighborhoods that are going to be swept and cleaned by the BWI sort of partnership that has sort of led with that effort. There are families who are going to have more food in their refrigerator because of individuals who work here. So when we think about the effort and the impact that this organization, this casino, and the effect that it's had in the LDC and their efforts to fund these entities have done in this community, it is amazing. And so I think all of us should be proud when we have business partners who contribute in such a way that not only generates revenue for the casino itself, but literally affects the lives of kids and families and workers and businesses and wives and husbands and everybody else that lives in your neighborhoods and your communities every single day. That is something I think we all should be proud of. And on behalf of Maryland Live and the Local Development Council, I say we give them a huge round of applause for that effort because we could not have done it without them. My little role in this process is certainly minimal. I certainly give the most credit to the Local Development Council because they have the subcommittees who spend countless of hours reviewing these applications and paperwork to make sure that it's legitimate, that they have, recently the county executive has even raised the standard on scrutinizing organizations just to make sure that the investment that we make as a county and as a community is going to go back and actually impact the lives of the organizations that are there. We have organizations that are going to be serving teen homelessness here in the county, and that's something that I'm certainly passionate about. And so last time we had a hiccup over the last couple of years with one of the grants, but he's taken it to another level to ensure that we never repeat the same mistakes that we've made in the past. And so for those that are here and for those that are out there that will see this at some point, this business, this Maryland Live Casino and their partners and the efforts that they're making in this community is making a difference in the lives of those who live in Anne Arundel County. Whether you're within a 3-mile radius or outside of the 3-mile radius, it has an impact. And I'm just proud to sort of help carry the flag, if you will, when it comes to us for a vote, to make sure my vote is always there to keep the LDC the preference in which they align the budget in the same way that they presented it to the county executive, I'm always going to be there supporting them to make sure those things happen. So with that, thank you for the opportunity to speak. Thank the county executive for being a good partner. We certainly have worked well together on a number of key issues, and this is one of those areas that I'm proud to sort of be a participant in. So thank you all. Appreciate it.
All right, now the fun part. Giving out the money. I get to kick off, I guess?
Kick off.
Okay, I kick off. All right, the first set of awards are for the LDC Community Support Grants. They total $387,000. No, $389,000. The first goes to Arc of the Chesapeake, $40,000 for construction of a new building in Severn to support individuals with disabilities. And I'd like to acknowledge Kristen Lasker, Rick Gallagher, and Angie DeMorland. Okay, so thank you. When we announce each award, please stand, be recognized, and then we will move on. The next one, Meade High School Music Program, $40,000 for the purchase of new uniforms and instruments for the marching band. Thank you, James Daly. James Day. Villages of Dorchester, $40,000 for replacement of missing, dead, and dying trees. Candace Wojnarowski, Eric Smith, and Mike Quares. Congratulations. I-5 Church, $39,000 for a mobile services trailer to service low-income and homeless people with food, showers, and clothing. Thank you, Charity Trahan, Steve Harris, Jimmy Rollins, and Morgan Wright. The Boys and Girls Clubs, $40,000 for after-school programs for Meade Village students aged 6 through 18. Thank you, Lisa Lindsay Mondoro. Jessup Improvement Association, $39,000 to replace aging floors in Jessup Community Hall. Thank you, Doug Gorney and Ellen Moss. Van Bachlen PTA, $34,000 to create better parent community communications through improved marquee. Thank you, Principal Silencia Hardy and Bobby Lane.
Did you do the promise?
I went through Providence.
Okay.
Oh, did I miss that one?
Yeah.
Oh, I have one more. Awesome. Provinces Civic Association. Didn't mean to leave you out. $34,000 for landscaping and signage installation. Unfortunately, they couldn't be here, but congratulations to them and thanks for all they do. Oh, they are here. Wonderful. Thank you for being here.
Okay, the tag team. So Hands of Hope, $30,000 for parenting skills classes, artwork, drug and alcohol abuse education, and Sherry Medley, CEO, is here. Thank you, Sherry. The Anne Arundel Food Bank, $22,000 to support 5,000 families in the radius of the project. And who's here from the food bank? Okay, thank you. The Assistance League, $16,000 to provide uniforms and books for Title I schools, guest readers and tutors, and Pam Miam. Partners in Care, $10,000 to provide transportation services for senior citizens within the 3-mile radius of Maryland Live. And Kevin Engler. And the Hebron Hammond PTA, $4,700 for artists in residence, engineering of a puppet show. And we have Danielle Smith and Eric Smith here.
Next is major grants, announcements, and speakers program. The first being YWCA, $250,000. Thank you for all you guys do. Workforce Development, Kirk Murray, $250,000. Tell you, I work closely with Kirk and his team, and the Workforce Development Corporation of Anne Arundel County does an incredible job of providing people with the skills they need to be successful in the workplace, to transition from one career to another, or to return to the workforce, or to begin working for the first time, in some cases, ever in their lives. It's incredible what they do to help people achieve their full potentials as individuals. So thank you, Kirk, for everything. BWI Partnership, Nancy Huggins, $435,000. Severn Library, Skip Auld. Thank you, Skip. Skip Auld runs the entire library system for Anne Arundel County and does a fabulous job. Anne Arundel County Recreation and Parks, Rick Anthony. Are you here, Rick? There he is. Thank you, Rick. $1.3 million. Wonderful. Also, for the Anne Arundel County Office of Public Works and the Department of Planning and Zoning, we have DPW Director Chris Phipps here, $1.5 million. And, of course, our nationally acclaimed Anne Arundel Community College, $1.7 million. Dr. Mike Gavin is here. Thank you, Doctor. We are so fortunate in this county to have an institution like Anne Arundel Community College. It's incredible the impact that they have. And lastly, within this category, Anne Arundel County Police Department, Chief Gerard Flemings is here, $3.4 million, working every day to keep the community safe. And we have a number of police officers here today, and I just want to acknowledge their presence and thank them for all they do all year long to keep Anne Arundel County safe. Let's give them a round of applause.
Okay, Meade High School Boosters Club, $750,000. This is a continuation of another grant from last year. And let's see, today we have the athletic director, Kevin Rutledge, with us today, who's going to talk a little bit about this grant and what it means for the school.
Good afternoon. Principal John Yor was going to be here today, but unfortunately he's unavailable. He's out of town. He wanted me to express, and apologize for his inability to be in attendance today. But what I'd like to be able to do today is just make sure that even though words can't express how thankful we are, we are so fortunate to be able to help our student body, help our community because of a lot of people in this room. There were so many people in this room that were so integral to this part. We want to make sure that we kind of go through that process and make sure we understand that they get recognized for everything that they do. First and foremost, Claire Louder and the LDC group. County Executive Stephen Hsu. Councilman Pete Smith. Delegates Pam Beidel and Delegate Chang. I'd also like to personally thank our booster president, Ms. Lori Short, who's sitting in the second row there. Thank you, Ms. Lori. And of course, Maria Casasco, who has helped me throughout the way personally. For anyone who knows, Meade has such a tremendous community, and it has such a tremendous student body. And finally, because of Maryland Live, because of our local government officials, we're now going to have the facilities to match it. We have the opportunity here that not a lot of schools have. We are well aware of that. But we also have the government officials to help us along the way to make sure that they're supporting their community. And I really want to just say from the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of all the staff at Meade High School and this community, thank you.
Thank you very much. When we first started to look at the development of Maryland Live in the community and We met with Daryl Jones and with Pam Beidel and kind of looked at what some of the community needs were. Working with the Meade community and this next grant, which goes to the Severn Community Health Center in the amount of $2.7 million, which is to create a community health and community center for the community that was so needed. And this was really one of the high priorities when we first were looking at developing this facility. So to see these grants coming to fruition and the money going into the community to meet these needs that have been around for a long time is really personally very, very gratifying. So we have the grant to the Severn Community Health Center, $2.7 million. And this grant will fund the construction of a very, very needed health facility in the community. And do we have Faye? Okay. Okay, you'll, all right, so we have, introduce yourself, we have a speaker from the Health Center.
Thank you, everyone. Good afternoon. First of all, I want to thank County Executive Steve Shue. I'd also like to thank the local development council members, as well as Councilman Pete Smith, Maryland Live Casino, and I'm going to have to get into the program as well when I say that over the past several months, there's a lady sitting on this stage who has absolutely been terrific and has had such vision, and we are going to miss the heck out of her, and that's Claire Louder. Thank you. So I want to thank everyone especially for earmarking grant funds for the construction of a community health center to serve the Severn community. I'm sure I don't need to tell you how desperately that community has a need for primary care for adults, pediatric care for its children, addiction services for those who want it and need it, as well as mental health services. We are excited that Anne Arundel County has the vision and has the support of the folks that you see here and the folks that were acknowledged as part of the LDC to see the need and to make that commitment for a community health center. We are pleased as a federally qualified health center that's been around for 50 years. We're pleased to work with Anne Arundel County and all of our partners to help see that dream come true. So with that, I say thank you very much. Thank you.
I think we have one official who came in who we weren't able to recognize in the beginning. So we have Alderman Prindell Shallot, who's here with us. So Pindell Charles, I'm sorry. Pindell Charles. So there's, okay. Last but not least, the county executive talked about all the great work that the police department does for all of us in the county. Equally, the Anne Arundel County Fire Department every day is doing tremendous work in the county, saving lives, keeping the people of this county safe. And so we have a grant of just under $7 million for the fire department, and have the pleasure of Chief Alan Graves being with us today to make some comments. So.
Good afternoon. I guess I get the privilege of representing all of public safety who have benefited from the grants that come from the LDC and the Maryland Live. So first, on behalf of Chief Altamari, the police chief, I'd like to thank the LDC for their recommendations, of course Maryland Live for the funding, and the county executive for his support for public safety. When you hear all the different programs that this money is going to, it's really impressive. And all of them, to me, they all reflect back on public safety for me, because health clinics and community benefits, they all reflect back on making communities safe and enjoyable places to be. So I kind of see this, even though I'm getting the money, for the fire side of things, that I see most of these other projects are also public safety oriented as well. But just to talk a little bit about the fire department over the years, I think one of the first projects that we did was we added a basic life support ambulance to the Harmons-Dorsey station. Now, we had an ALS unit there already, a paramedic unit, but this added that other capability so that we can kind of prioritize the calls and use the appropriate resources for the appropriate issue. And as time went on, that became one of our busiest basic life support units. And it's not just because it was responding to calls directly around Maryland Live, but it was supporting the greater area. So it became a very valuable resource for the community that was made possible by the LDC and Maryland Live funding. The next thing, which is in process, which I was reminded of, it's not noticeable, but the next funding was to go to improve the Harmons-Dorsey station. So the plan is that we're going to enlarge the station so that we can put additional apparatus in there, as well as improve the facility for the personnel that work there. So it's going to be a really big value to improving not the conditions, but the environment for people working there. So that will be great. And then what that does, it also makes room for what we're able to purchase with this year's funding, and that is a new ladder truck for the area. So all those things together have kind of all dovetailed, and it's humbling to hear all the different projects, and I hope that I can assure you that the funding that we're getting, we're spending in the best ways possible to benefit both directly around Maryland Live, but to benefit the county as a whole. So again, thank you very much for the funding. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
So in just a second, we're going to be handing out big checks and taking pictures. We're really excited to get to do that. But first, I want to thank Joe Weinberg and the casino for making all of this possible. It's really exciting to get to be a part of all of this and to be able to help so many agencies in our community. And I have to say a word about County Executive Shue. When he called me to ask me to chair this, I actually really didn't want to say yes, but I felt like I had to. It has turned out to be one of the most rewarding things that I've ever had the opportunity to do as a chamber executive, and I really appreciate that. And even more than that, he is the first county executive. I've been on the LDC since it was formed. He is the first county executive who every time has put through our recommendations exactly as we requested them. And Steve, we really, really appreciate that. Thank you. So thanks again also to all the members of the LDC who put in so much time with us, and Jeannie Garner and Owen McAvoy from the County Executive's Office, who both provide the LDC tremendous support. And those of you who just attend the meetings have no idea how many hours they put in behind the scenes. And Owen listening to me when things are not going quite right, which is, we all do, as we were talking about with Severn Community Health Center. We continue to push to make sure things happen the way they should be happening. So thank you very much. We look forward to next year's announcements. We hope it will be even more money as the casino continues to thrive. And if those of you who are receiving grants could meet us over by the backdrop, we would appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm here.
Everybody get it? Good?
That's my phone right there.
Thank you. Steve. Ready? Right here. Right here. Perfect. Hey, Chief. Perfect. Here we go, guys. Eyes on me. Perfect. Here. Perfect. Right here. Of course I can.